Good afternoon. Here is the news at 1. I am Mike James. In a bid to promote the wellness and well-being of civil servants, the Office of the Head of Service in Lagos State has organized its maiden walk for fitness. Civil servants from various ministries, departments and agencies of the state government joined the Head of Service, Bodiaguru, top government functionaries, including permanent secretaries, directors on the walk, which kicked off from the Adeyemi Bello Auditorium, Alausa, to Arlene Roundabout in Ikeja, back to Alausa. Speaking with journalists after the walk, the state head of service, Bodiaguru, urged public servants in the state to be physically, mentally and emotionally stable to enhance their productivity. Aguru, who stated that the walk would be organized every last Saturday of the month, commended public servants for their dedication and selfless service. He had this to say.
Keeping fit, meeting up with each other, networking with each other. You know, there's some staff have not seen each other in years because we're so focused on work. We go to work, we go home. So it's a good opportunity to keep fit, to network, to meet your PAMSECs and your heads of agency, and to speak to them on the same level, and just have a general chit-chat.
Special advisor to Governor on Political, Legislative and Civil Engagement, Afolabi Tajuddin, and Permanent Secretary in the office, Abiola Kushigbi, described the exercise as a way of keeping fit and helping public servants to be alert while carrying out their duties.
It's a way of keeping fit, brain alertness, body and soul, and I think it is worthwhile starting the work from here at Adeyemi Bello. Balogun bus stop, we make a U-turn and we enter to the main gate. And I think I see everybody sweating. By the time everybody gets home today, it's going to be a sound sleep, freshness, and the adjustment of all the body system.
It's a very novel and very interesting initiative. You know, we have a situation where a lot of us are always sitting, we're sedentary, we're always sitting, we're walking, we're not taking care of our health. So this is really very exciting and we hope that it continues and it is sustained.
The event featured health talks, including risk factors of high blood pressure, diabetes and how to prevent them. The Randall General Hospital, Surulere, in recognition of the selfless service to patients of the hospital last year, has presented awards to some of the staff of the anesthetics department of the hospital, just as other outstanding officers in the junior and senior categories were recognized. In his address at the presentation ceremony during the first 2024 staff meeting, the medical director, chief executive officer of the hospital, Olumide Shojiri, promised to continue to focus on creating an atmosphere that will enhance improved service delivery among health workers and staff of the hospital. Shojiri appreciated all members of the workforce for their support and cooperation throughout last year, just as he commended the patient for believing in and trusting the hospital for quality healthcare delivery. He encouraged them to keep up the good work, especially in the area of quality service delivery to patients at all times. No fewer than 140 officials will track and assess the performance of federal ministries, departments and agencies ahead of the first assessment exercise at the end of this month. This is as the officials joined the third technical retreat for delivery desk officers of federal ministries on implementation of presidential priorities and ministerial deliverables in Uyo, Akwa Ibom State, which began on Wednesday. A senior official working closely with the Central Delivery Coordination Unit, headed by the Special Advisor to the President on Policy Coordination, Hadiza Bala Usman, revealed that the officers who would conduct the assessment were drawn from 35 federal government ministries, departments and agencies. Bala Usman warned the participants that a principal would sack ministers who failed to perform their duties, noting that President Tinubu was poised to deliver on his promise of making life better and easier for Nigerians. The Nigeria Civil Aviation Authority (NCAA) has suspended the permit for non-commercial flight PNCF of Martini Airline Services Limited following the crash landing of its private jet with 10 persons on board in Ibadan, Oyo State. According to the NCAA, the suspension will subsist until a conclusion is drawn that the conditions of the PNCF were complied with by the private jet charter providers. Director of Public Affairs and Consumer Protection of NCAA, Michael Achimugu, said this in a statement through the agency's X handle. Achimugu said the NCAA has further initiated a safety and economic audit of all private jet operations in Nigeria. NCAA assured the traveling public of its utmost commitment to safety and the entrenchment of global best practices. Federal Civil Service Commission (FCSC) has disassociated itself from online job recruitment platforms, indicating that the Commission is currently recruiting into ministries, departments and agencies (MDAs). A press release signed by the head of press, Taiwo Hassan, urged the public to disregard the fake news. It also warned Nigerians to be wary of the activities of fake recruitment syndicates and racketeers. And in some foreign news, the United Nations Secretary Council has resolved to meet next week over the order by the International Court of Justice (ICJ) calling for Israel to prevent the commission of genocidal acts against Palestinians in Gaza. Barely 24 hours after the ruling, the Council's presidency announced to hold a meeting on Wednesday. Algeria called for the meeting after its Ministry of Foreign Affairs said it would give binding effect to the pronouncement of the court on the provisional measures imposed on the Israeli occupation. The ICJ earlier ruled 15-2 that there was possibility of South Africa's claims that Palestinians require protection from genocide. The courts did not take the action most desired by South Africa and feared by Israel, that ordering an immediate unilateral ceasefire, which would have stymied the war effort, and indicated that the court believes genocide is actively taking place. And over to sports news. The Super Eagles media officer, Babafemi Raji, says the players are all fit and battle ready for the round of 16 clash against Cameroon at the ongoing Africa Cup of Nations. The Super Eagles of Nigeria will take on the table lines of Cameroon in Abidjan by 9 p.m. Nigerian time. All 25 players participated in the Super Eagles training held at the Police National École de Police de Abidjan on Friday. The players took part in the session, which was mostly light walkouts. The first 30 minutes of the session were open to journalists and the public. Speaking on the sidelines of the training, Raji noted that there were no injury concerns as all players were ready and available for selection. And that was our news at 1. But just before we go, stay alive. Majors on pedestrian bridges were available. You can follow us and like all our various social media platforms: X, formerly Twitter, Lagos Traffic 961, Instagram, Lagos Traffic Radio 961. Watch us live on Facebook, Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM. On YouTube, subscribe and watch all our previous programs and news on our channel, Traffic Radio 961. Did you know that the Sanwo-Olu administration began community tourism initiative? Well, you can always get more details on the Lagos State Government website, and for contact with the newsroom, send a message to Lagos Traffic Radio at lagosstate.gov.ng. That ends the news broadcast compiled by Adirayodu Olaya. Thank you for listening. My name is Mike James. Good afternoon.